What's up? What's up? How are you? Hey, finally caught a stream. I may fall asleep as it's 1:21 a.m. Hope you have an awesome stream. Tell Diamond and Emerald I said hello, please. What's up, Cold Blooded Creation? What up, Lion? How are you, buddy? What up, Silent Nights? Absolutely, Links. Hey, bud. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. What's up, guys? We got to give everybody just a little bit to get in here. And then we will talk a little bit here. Let me get the comments where I can see them. There we go. What's up, Sue? Yeah, that TTS system's pretty cool, man. I got to check that out. So, alright, guys. I think I'm going to jump right into it. Guys, please make sure to smash that like button for me. Really appreciate it. It helps out the channel a lot, especially when the first people that come in hit that like button. It gets it out there to a much wider audience very quickly. But anyway, guys, you know how we do things here. Some of you may not, anybody that's new. But we usually start out, you know, we say a short prayer before working with the venomous snakes. And then we go on to talk a little bit about them. And we look at multiple snakes in a night. So if you don't mind, let's just take a minute here in the chat, you know, a quiet moment in the chat, you know, before we begin. And I'm going to say a little prayer. So I'm going to start that now. Heavenly Father, may we approach this subject with humility and respect for the natural world. May we learn not out of fear, but out of understanding. And may knowledge guide us to wisdom, balance, and awe for the life that surrounds us. And as always, please keep the pointy end of these animals as far from my body as possible while working with them. Amen. So guys, when people hear venomous snake, fear usually arrives before understanding. And, you know, images kind of blur together. You know, they think of fangs and coils and strikes. And, you know, all snakes become the same dangerous thing. But nature is far more precise than that. Venomous snakes fall into distinct families. Each of them are shaped by millions of years of evolution, and each with its own tools and strategies and roles in the ecosystems. Today, example, I want to talk about, you know, the three major groups of snakes. Even a lot of experienced herpetologists or people that like herping, not so much an actual, you know, herpetologist, but, you know, people that like herping and even some keepers don't realize that there are three different, you know, groups. We have a true viper, we have a pit viper, and then we have Elapids. And they are Elapidae, Viperinae, and Viperinae. So the difference is like, well, let's start with this. You know, they're related, but they're not the same. You know, they differ, you know, in anatomy, you know, behavior, venom delivery, and geography. And even how they sense the world around them. And understanding these differences really doesn't just make you smarter, you know, it makes you safer. It makes you more respectful and more amazed by how refined these animals actually are. We're going to start with the true viper. So what is the true viper? The true viper belong to the family Viperinae. It's a subfamily of the Viperinae. They are often called, you know, old world vipers because they're primarily found in Africa and, let's see here, Europe and like Asia. Now, they do not have heat-sensing pits. Instead, they rely on vision, smell, vibration, and ambush tactics. You know, that just all of these things have been perfected over time. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. But I'm going to try to get y'all a look here at her face right here, because this is a true viper. It is not a pit viper. And when you look at her face, you see the eye and you see a nostril in front of the eye. And so that's different than that of a pit viper. And hang on, I'm trying to get adjusted here. But the true vipers, you know, tend to have, the thick, heavy bodies, the broad triangular shaped head like you're seeing here, those vertical, cat-like pupils, and they got really strongly keeled scales. Like, you look at the scales on her head, they're very, very keeled, and what that means is there's basically a ridge down the center of them, and, they're kind of raised looking or kind of sharp looking. How you doing, Dreaming in the Clouds? Thanks for stopping. Hey, guys, anybody that's here, please smash that like button for us. It really helps the channel out a lot when you hit the like button when we first show up. It helps get this out to a lot more people. It helps us be able to spread the education and stuff about these animals a lot better. So if y'all don't mind helping us out and helping the animals out, please smash that thumbs up button. But, guys, the appearance alone of these snakes, kind of gives them a reputation for damage, or for danger. I guess rightfully so. They're extremely effective predators. Vipers have long, hollow, hinged fangs. So when the mouth is closed, the fangs just like fold back against the roof of the mouth. And when the snake strikes, the fangs swing forward, kind of like switchblades. And this system allows the vipers to, deliver, deep venom injections and strike quickly and release, and for some of them, it actually helps them avoid holding on to prey. Others, it helps them hold on to it. For vipers, their venom is typically hemotoxic. It can be others, but that means that it destroys tissue. It breaks down blood cells. It causes internal bleeding. And, the venom is not just designed to kill, but to begin digestion immediately. True vipers are ambush predators. They rely on camouflage and patience rather than speed. Many of them will sit motionless for hours, sometimes days. They are defensive, but they are not aggressive. As you see, I am merely, 18 inches away from this snake, and it wants to keep going the other way, try to get away from me. It doesn't want to come at me. Now, when they're threatened, they'll often, coil up, tightly. Some of them will hiss, some of them will rattle. And then they'll strike only when escape's not possible. Examples of true vipers are, aside from this one, are like puff adders, Gaboon Vipers, and European adders. Now, this girl here is what is called a West African bush viper. She is scientifically known as Atheris chlorechus. In my opinion, they are one of the prettiest bush vipers out there. She's not to be confused with the Atheris squamigera, which is one of the real common bush vipers. Now, So anyway, there you go. There's a pretty good shot. But you see the eye and in the nostril, there's no heat-sensing pit there like you see on many other snakes. And guys, I'm sorry if I don't see your questions or comments right away. I'm not ignoring you. When I work with these venomous snakes, I try to pay close attention. And then I do go back through, take a look at the comments, and try to answer them the best I can. But I need to pay close attention at first here, and then when I'm ready to answer questions, I'm able to focus more on the questions than the snake. But right now, I'm so close to the snake that I've got to pay, very close attention, because these animals can, strike before, your brain can even process it. So I'm going to actually, I have a little artificial tree branch here that I'm going to put up here for her to hang on, because she doesn't like hanging on the hook. So let me lift her up a second and grab this tree branch. But guys, if you don't mind, anybody that has not already done so, please smash that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel out tremendously. It gets a whole lot more people in here. We're able to educate more people, try to, show people that these animals are not villains. They're not, gonna chase you. They're not aggressive and stuff. So it does a lot for the conservation and stuff of these animals. It is by no means about, trying to earn a living off of YouTube for me. This channel it is a monetized channel, but it does not make any money at this point. I've gotten a few donations along the way, but it's not about, finances in my pocket. It's simply about the education and conservation of these animals. Let's see here. There we go. So try to give you a look at the length of her body and stuff. Here she's roughly about 2 feet long. I appreciate that, everybody. How you doing, Dysfunction? How are you doing, Darcy, Grapes, OE, Lemmy Cook, everybody, how are you? I appreciate you. But, so anyway, guys, yeah, so this one here is a true viper again. It's a Theris chlorechus, known as the West African bush viper, as its common name. This is a female specimen. She's probably about a 5-year-old female specimen. Actually, she's about 6 now. So, she's a pretty big, pretty large specimen for her species. The females do get much larger than the males when it comes to these guys. But yeah, some other examples, I've already told you other examples, like, the Gaboon Viper, that's another one that's very common that most people know. And I will actually go ahead and pull a Gaboon Viper out. Yes, it is a West African bush viper, Dysfunction. But how many of these snakes do I have? I've only got 2 of these. I have a male and a female pair. I do not have the male here at this place with me. We will see the male at a later date at my snake building. But very pretty snakes. But you see the keeled scales there on the head. Mainly, they're very dragon-like, and the eyeballs, very pretty snakes. They almost got that green and blue together there. She got a little piece of stuck shed there on her neck. Not too bad, but and then she got them little yellow dots down her dorsal. She's getting a little close to my fingers here, so I got to readjust. There you go, girl. There you go, girl. Pretty girl. But so yeah, let me sit her in her cage real quick, and I will grab another true viper before we move on to the pit vipers. Come on, big girl, get down in there. Go on, big girl. Go on. Go on. There you go, big girl. Okay, so I will grab the true viper. Take me just 1 minute to grab her. Where do I have her at? Where did I put her? She is Okay. Alright, Jesse, where'd you put your viper at? There she is. I found her. Come here, pretty girl. Come here, pretty girl. Okay. So, let me get around this real fast and we'll sit her down and try to take a look-see at her here. Come here, pretty girl. There you go. There you go. Now, this is a juvenile specimen as well. She is young. She's barely a year old. Her name is Baby Huffy. She is a Bitis rhinoceros, a West African Gaboon Viper. What's up? I am a dude. But yeah, this is a West African Gaboon Viper. Again, if you look at her face right here, let me try to get her to turn her head our way. Come here, girl. Look. If you look at her face here, she does not have any big heat-sensing pits, you know, the holes in the front of her face, you know, between her eye and her nostril. That big hole that you do see on her, come on, girl, stay on the hook a minute. That big hole that you do see in her nose, that's actually her nostrils with her right beside the spikes there, you know. So that's actually the nostril on this snake, not the heat-sensing pit. There you go. There's a very good look at her nostrils and her eyes. So, yeah. So this is a true viper, Viperinae. And we look at her just a few minutes. Nah, Jason, I'm not going to get bit, buddy. That's why I use my tools, buddy. I use my hooks and stuff. I do not free handle these animals ever. There's no need to be free handling these animals. What's up, ML4? But yeah, so, but these Gaboon Vipers, such pretty animals. I mean, just all the colors and the pattern, you know. Very, very beautiful animals. I am a dude. Yes, I do have 2 puff adders. I got a male and female pair of puff adders. Yes, sir. But, yeah, guys, so this is Viperinae. This is a true viper. I will go ahead, I will put her away, and we will get out a pit viper and discuss the difference between a pit viper and a true viper. Again, many folks don't even realize there is a difference in, you know, the viper families. You know, that there's a difference between a true viper and a pit viper. A lot of people are, but a lot are not. So, anyway, I'm going to pull out a pit viper that is native to the United States here. And we will talk about her. It is a little female. She is small. I could pull out a bigger specimen, but it is a little easier for me to deal with her and get, you know, better shots of her here. But anyway, there you go. You look on the face. Let me try to zoom it in. There you go. You can see, you see the eye, and then you see the small hole at the very front. That's the nostril. And then the hole in front of that, let me try to get a straight on face shot of her for you. If I have to get out something bigger, I will. I would like to not have to, but yeah, you're not seeing her pits real well. But this, yes, this is a baby timber rattlesnake. This is about a 5-month-old baby. There you go. Now you can see the pits there. So this second hole, come on, girl, stay still. Here, let me see if you'll hang in the tree and relax. Here. There you go. There you go. Maybe she'll hang up there in the tree and relax a minute so we can get some shots of her. Nah, you're not going to stay still. But we'll pull out another one here after, you know, I do a little bit of explaining here about this, the differences and everything. What's up, Blood Sealed? How are you? But guys, so what makes a pit viper different is pit vipers are also members of the Viperinae family, but they belong to the subfamily Crotalinae or Crotalinae. And what separates them from a true viper is the one extraordinary feature. And that feature is she's hauling butt, but it's the heat sensing pits. They're the small deep cavities that sit between the eye and the nostril on each side of the face. And what it does is it allows them to detect, infrared radiation, basically see warm-blooded prey even in total darkness. And it allows them to be able to, strike with pinpoint accuracy. It's not vision as we experience it. It's a completely different sensory world. If there's anybody here that has not yet hit the like button, please smash that thumbs up for us. It really helps us out. Here you go. There we go. We can get a little better look now that she's sitting still. There you go. I know the hook end is a little bit thick, but you can see right at the end of my hook, right by the tip of her nose, you kind of see that circle there. That is the heat sensing pit. And I will still show a bigger specimen in a bit to show you. You subbed, snakes are your thing. Awesome, I am a dude. I appreciate that. But guys, pit vipers are primarily found in, the Americas and parts of Asia. They dominate the Americas in terms of venomous, diversity. Their physical traits are, the triangular shaped head, just like the vipers, the vertical pupils and the hinged fangs, just like the true viper. But they have a lot of the times a more athletic build, and a greater, ecology variety. Again, like the true vipers, the pit vipers have them long hinged fangs that fold up into their mouth when not in use, and their venom is, mostly hemotoxic. They can possess some neurotoxins as well. Mostly the rattlesnakes, some of them, will possess some neurotoxic, and that kind of makes their venom a lot more complex. Pit vipers are very adaptable, some of them live in the desert, some live in the forest, some live in the mountains, some live in the trees. They may ambush, or actively hunt, depending on the species. Some examples are, rattlesnakes, copperheads, cottonmouths, and the ferdinands. The rattle itself, again, is a unique warning system. It's one of the clearest examples in nature of conflict avoidance. So, this here, again, is a baby timber rattlesnake. This thing's about 5 months old, roughly. How are you, Alicia? Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, I will pull out another pit viper that will actually sit more still for us, so we're able to get a much closer look at the pits and everything here. So let me go ahead and stick her up in her enclosure, and I will grab the other pit viper of a different species that will allow us to get a closer, clearer look at the heat sensing pits. Come here, brother. And we did look at this snake last night, but I'm going to show him again tonight to be able to show these heat sensing pits a little bit better. So, he cooperates a whole lot better than some. Now, I got to get past you, Bubba. Hang on. Hang on, Bubba. Hang on, dude. Here, let me get past you quick. Okay, so let me sit him right here. Come on, Bubba. Here. Don't be a jerk now. Don't be a jerk. Okay. Don't be a jerk. We got to look at you. Let him calm down a second here. But everybody wants to look the opposite way tonight. But either way, that's a good example for you of these snakes, you know, wanting to get away. You know, they don't want to fight, you know, they don't want to attack you and all that. So, come on, Bubba, are you going to stop so I can get a clear shot here? Come on, little dude. Hey. Come on, pick your face up. Come here, dude. Hey, why are you being a butthole? Come on. I'll go get the other guy here. I'll put you away and we'll get the other one. Alright, I'm not going to fight you. I got one that'll 100% stay in place, so... Come on, dude. Let go. Let go of the branch. Let go of the branch. No. You're being a jerk. You're going in your cage. Come on. Nope. You can't act right tonight. You're going in your cage. Alright, let me get this dude. This dude will 100% stay right where I put him. And we'll be able to get a good clear shot of him. Come on, you jerk. Come on. Get out of there. Come on, get out of there. Get out of there. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, bud. Come on, let go. Let go. Come on. Let go. Come on, Bubba. Hey, come on. Come on. There you go. Alright, now we got one. So, now I put this one on the branch and he will stay in place. He always does, so. Alright, let me get zoomed in here. Boom. Here we go. Okay, so, anyway. What's up, Bubba? Yeah, you'll stay, won't you? Huh? Watch, I touch his tail, he'll wing around, and all I gotta do is touch him, and he'll come back around. There he goes. There he goes. Okay, there we go. So, now this is an example. The last one that I just showed you, being a timber rattlesnake, was an example of an American pit viper. This one here would be an Asian pit viper. Absolutely, this guy is a good poser for the camera. He's always on point with photography. Let me bend this a little closer so we can get an even closer shot of his face. But here, let me get him on frame, and then I'll show you as soon as I touch him. See, what happens is in the wild, they'll use their tail as a caudal lure. So you touch their tail, they come swinging around ready to strike and nail you. But there we go. There's a perfect pose. All right, buddy. There you go. There you go, Bubba. But, so, anyway, again, this is an Asian pit viper. Here, let me hold him on the hook and get him closer where he might look up. There we go. Come on, Bubba. Where's your head at? So hard to judge on this camera. There we go. I really need a cameraman so I can do this stuff, you know, where I can actually hold the animal and show you guys stuff. But I'm not to that point yet. Oh yeah, he's tried striking here. If I get him close, let me zoom the camera out and I'll show you. These guys are very defensive little guys. Watch this. If I even get him close to the camera, he'll start striking. See, boom, he's striking the camera. There we go. There's a good look. There you go. Right in front of the eye, you can see that hole. There you go. He's striking again. Boom. But right in front of the eye there, you can see that hole. That's the heat sensing pit right there. Actually, scientists, because of studying the heat sensing pits on snakes, that helped contribute to infrared cameras, or, you know, thermal cameras as we know them. Yeah, he's a tiny little snake. This is a juvenile. He's a little over a year old. I have the exact same specimen in an adult size. They're not a very large snake anyway. Yeah, the camera is warm, so as soon as I get close, he learned now that, striking isn't going to hurt it none. But yeah, so anyway, guys, that's the difference in a true viper and a pit viper. So, let's, oh crap. There you go. Oh, crap. Stay on the hook, Bubby. Why are you so grouchy? You're as grouchy as my old lady, dude. But anyway, so yeah. So that's the difference in a pit viper and a true viper. Now, I'm going to put him up, and I'm going to grab the third snake on our list. And then we will show some other stuff too after that, but I just wanted to explain the difference in the three. And actually, you know what? Let's show one more pit viper first here. Let's do that. Because I know there's a person or two in here that really likes this pit viper, so let's show him for a couple of minutes. I'm going to grab my other hook right here. Doing good, Roxanne. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh. Come on, Bubba. Here. Alright. Let me adjust the camera up a little. See if I can get him to turn around for us. And alright, guys. So here's an example, another example of a North American pit viper that wants to get close to my fingers. Here, you want to climb in the tree? Go ahead. Climb in the tree, dude. Go ahead. You're supposed to be a rock species, not a arboreal species, but if you want to pretend like you're arboreal for a little bit, be my guest. Okay? No? Ain't nobody cooperating tonight, are you? Nope. Let me adjust this stupid thing up, man. There we go. No, you keep your pointy end right back there, okay? So there you go, guys. There's a perfect example. Let me zoom out to show you. But here's a perfect example. I put that snake right here when I put him on here. And he has, this entire lid to go anywhere he wants, in the open. He chose to go to the furthest corner from me and hide. See, this just shows that these animals do not want to, they don't want to fight you. They don't want to bite you. They want to be left alone. They want to be able to go about their business. So, when it comes to a venomous snake, if you just give it its space, and leave it go, it's going to keep right on going and never bother you. You're only going to possibly get bit if you accidentally step on it, try to pick it up, you try to unalive it, anything like that. Hey guys, if there's anybody here that hasn't hit the like button yet, please smash that thumbs up for us. Again, it really helps get it out there to more people where we can try to spread the education and help with conservation efforts, with some of these species. They value survival over fighting just like most other animals. Absolutely, absolutely dreaming in the clouds. 100%. Thank you for that. 100%. I have been bitten twice, Kevin, but never by any animals in my collection. Both times I was bitten was 100% my fault, and both times was 100% sheer stupidity. Where do they live at in North America? These guys are found. This is the banded rock rattlesnake. This guy here would be found in, I don't know all the areas, but Texas, Arizona, maybe even certain parts of Southern California. Hi, Bella. Thanks for coming back again today. Appreciate you. No, I don't think they'd be found in Utah. Yeah, New Mexico as well. That's correct, Dysfunction. Thank you for that. This snake's pattern reminds me of Army digital camo pattern. Yeah, it's very close, Patrick. Actually, you know, when this snake is laying on the rocks, I mean, it's absolutely invisible. Absolutely invisible. Alfred, will it kill you? It could. However, this rattlesnake right here, its venom is less potent than a lot of the bigger ones. All right, Roxanne. Is that a rattlesnake? Yes, Chief, it is. It is a banded rock rattlesnake. It is a pit viper. For anybody who doesn't know, you know, what we are talking about in here, you know, if you just came in, I see a human bed. Does this guy live in the same room as the snake? No, this guy does not live in the same room as the snakes. I am actually at the beach house. Been doing some work for about 2 months here. So I brought some snakes down with me to be able to do these live streams. But I have many more snakes out at the property where my snakes live, you know, in a building of their own. Yes, Sutom is a mod. But anyway, so what we were talking about in here, for those of you that just got in here, I will explain the things quickly. Again, I'll sort of give you a highlight of what we were talking about. You know, what we're talking about is that there are 3 major groups of snakes. You have what's called the true viper, you have the pit viper, and that's what we're looking at here is a pit viper. And then you have Elapids. Elapids are your Cobras and Mambas and such. And, you know, they're related but not the same. You know, they're different as far as behavior and venom delivery and geography goes. True vipers are things, you know, typically found, you know, in areas like Africa, Europe, and Asia. Now, the pit vipers are found usually in the Americas and some in Asia. So you got a dang snake ranch? Pretty much, Bloodshed, yes. That's a good way to think of it, I guess. Yes, sir. Or ma'am. Yes, sir, or ma'am, whatever one. Thank you, Bella. Snake's beautiful. Do you think it's okay to shoot them if they come onto your property? Bella, no. That's, you know, honestly, it's unnecessary. You know, you got to do what you got to do to protect your family. I will put it that way. So if you absolutely had to and had no other choice, fine. But there are many choices out there nowadays. You know, you could call a professional to come remove it. They'll remove it for free. You could use a shovel to scoop it up and take it somewhere and, you know, let it go. There's lots of options without having to harm the animal. Yes, I've been bit by 2 venomous snakes. I was bit by a timber rattlesnake many years ago, and I was bit by a copperhead. This spring will be 2 years since I was bit by the copperhead. Neither bites ever happened from snakes in my collection. They were both wild snakes. Virtual's home for wayward snakes. There you go. No problem, Bella. Thank you for the questions. I appreciate it. But yeah, so if y'all want, I will show you a couple of more examples of pit vipers here. Let me put this one away, and I will pull out another pit viper here to show you that's probably a little more common looking to most of you than this one. There you go. You get to hear a rattle and see his rattle. Look how pretty those snakes are. I mean, that's, you know, what other animal has such diversity and you know, and color and pattern and, you know, all of that. It's just amazing. You know, these guys got very little heads. For some reason, you know, I have learned that the snakes really do not like their face on camera. They try very hard to avoid being on camera. Rattlesnakes are very, very important. Absolutely, yes. Rattlesnakes, you know, are actually, you know, what scientists call keystone species. Keystone species is basically both predator and prey. So the animal is, you know, the animal is a food source for other animals, and it is also, you know, rodent control. You know, they eat rodents and, you know, all that. Actually, here, I'll tell you what, let me show you this one. I think many of y'all will like this snake. Here, let me pull it out. She is in shed right now, so she's not happy. So her colors are not quite as pretty as they can and, you know, usually are, but she's still a very, very pretty snake. Let me grab her. Come here, pretty girl. Come here, pretty girl. Come here. This girl's very, very calm. Very calm. Come here, girl. So, let me move the fake bushes out the way here. There we go. Oh, this stupid tripod. There we go. And now, this is a white southwestern speckled rattlesnake. And again, she is a pit viper. And this girl here, I might be able to get you a little bit clearer look at the face of. Let me get her turned around where I can get her hooked correctly. And then we'll pick her up here. Come here, pretty girl. Hey, here, pretty girl. Here. Come here. Come on, girl. Hey. No, you don't want to. Here, let me take the camera out of the tripod and get you a better look. That'll work. That'll work. Here, come here. Okay, so there you go. There you go. There's a fairly close-up photo of look of the heat sensing pits on her face there. Those holes that you see right in front of the eyeball, down a little lower, are the heat sensing pits that we're talking about on a pit viper that the true viper does not have. No, girl, what are you doing? Even though this girl's pretty calm and I trust her for the most part, I still need to be very cautious, you know. Yes, the snake's venom is used to make anti-venom. It is used to make lots of other medications. Actually, it is also used to make pain medications, seizure medications. It's used for cancer research. It's used for many, many different things. But yeah, this girl here will shed over the next 1 to 2 days. They go into blue, which means their eyes get cloudy and turn blue shortly before they shed, and she has already turned blue and went back clear, so that means in the next couple of days she will shed. But you see, like I am literally, you know, like here, I'll show you. I mean, I'm touching the tub right in front of me right now, right beside her, and this snake wants nothing to do with me. So, you know, it just goes to show you that these snakes are not villains, you know, they're not out to get you. These snakes are not going to hunt you down, chase you down, and hurt you. So, and then there's the little rattle. Again, this is a juvenile. She's young. She's, again, just over a year. I do not harvest their venom myself, buddy. No, sir. I have been possibly thinking, well, I've been thinking about possibly starting to milk monocled cobras, but it will take some time and stuff to do that. But guys, I mean, look, I'm literally picking this snake up, you know, and it wants nothing to do, you know. It does not want to harm me in any way. I mean, so if you give snakes, you know, their space and everything, they will leave you alone. You know, they're not going to try to hurt you. I mean, yeah, do not try what I am doing, please. That's very, thank you for that dysfunction. Do not ever do what I am doing. I do not free handle on my channel. This is the first time you've ever seen me do it on my channel, but I am just making the example to people that, in general, just letting the snake go about its business, it is not going to hurt you. It does not want to hurt you. And this particular snake, you know, I know her very, very well, you know. That doesn't mean that she wouldn't strike at me. That does not mean that she can't bite me. But Roll Tide, that's just stupidity, buddy. Just stupidity. Absolutely not going to just grab the head. Yes, sir, this is a southwestern speckled rattlesnake. And I'm going to show this too here. I showed this the other night, but I'm going to show it again. For those that say, oh, the snake's had its fangs taken out, let me show you. Right here is 4 sets of fangs. There are 8 fangs total here. These all came out of one rattlesnake's enclosure. If you pulled the snake's fangs out right now, and an hour later that snake bites you, it has a new set of fangs ready to do their job. So you are not defanging a damn snake. She is very, very beautiful. Thank you, guys. Very beautiful. When these snakes, you know, are laying on the white granite, you know, where they are found in their natural habitat, near Yuma, Arizona, you can't even see them. I mean, it's like trying to find chicken teeth. But see, anytime I touch her, she just wants to go farther away from me. That's all she wants to do. Like, I'll touch her quickly, and it startles her, so she goes quicker, see? But if you're, you know, if I'm very slow and gentle, she knows I'm not trying to hurt her. Oops, she's going to crawl off of there. Come here, girl. Get back up on there. Come on, girl. Get up there. There you go. But... and you see, she's just cruising along, flicking her tongue. Ever smell a garter snake? Yes, they are horrible smell. Absolutely horrible smell when they musk. Yep, she is a very chill snake. But even with a snake that's not so chill, you know, you're absolutely safe if you don't try to handle them and don't try to kill them or anything. But I'm going to go ahead and put her away, and I will pull out another rattlesnake that is way more defensive than her, just to give you guys the example of a very defensive specimen and what they will do. There you go, girl. Alright, let me grab him real quick. Now, let's see here. This one here, and this one's a very, very, one of the most popular rattlesnake species in the United States that I'm going to pull out. And again, this snake here, I would never dream of free handling or touching this snake without a hook, because these snakes are super defensive in my opinion. Yeah, no, I'm not going to pull the mamba out neither. I'm not in the best location to be trying to mess with mambas and, you know, forest cobras and stuff like that. Now, we might be able to take a look at the forest cobra or something, but I'm not going to be able to, you know, pull him out. I'm not even going to be able to make him hood up because he's just going to want to haul ass. And I'm not in the correct space for that. Alright, this little dude here, see, look, see, he ran quick. He ran quick. Oh fuck. Alright, guys, hang on, guys. I told you, see, but that's a perfect example of what just happened there of what this snake wants to do. He just wants to get the hell away. He wants nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing to do with you. Come on, dude. You fucker. Alright, I got him. So, anyway, yeah, this guy, he wants nothing to do with you. I think this is an empty tub, so we can handle this a little different with him. Yeah, there we go. So, let's stick him in here now. Let me get the camera back on him. There we go. So, anyway, that proves my point, you know, where snakes want to get away. You know, this snake knows me. He's been around since he was born, and he still just hauled ass as soon as I got him out of the enclosure and sat him down. I don't know why, but I think poisonous snakes are so cool. The only one I ever run across in the wild is a rattlesnake, a diamondback. Yeah, this is a western diamondback here. And now, I'm not saying this to be a jerk, but I want to explain for the other viewers. They are venomous. They are not poisonous. They're venomous. And a good way to always remember that is if you bite it and you get sick, it is poisonous. If it bites you and you get sick, it is venomous. There is a difference in venomous and poison. And again, I'm not saying that to be a jerk. I am saying it for education purposes. So please don't take it like me being a jerk. Yes, king cobras are amazing snakes. Absolutely. Absolutely they are. But yeah, this guy is the western diamondback rattlesnake. They have also been called the coontail rattlesnake. And right there you can tell why they were called the coontail rattlesnake, because of the black and white bands. And actually, while I've got this guy out, let me grab another one and put in there with him to show you guys a pretty cool difference in them here. Come on, dude, I don't trust you, so let me tip you up while I walk by. I don't have much room here. Hey, Bubba. Where did I put him at? There he is over there. Okay. Cool. So this one here. Come on, where's that tape right there? Okay. Hey, girl. Alright. Come here, jerk. Come here, jerk. Hey. Okay. Now. Alright. There we go. Now, these two snakes are the exact same snake. They are both Western Diamondback rattlesnakes. The yellow one is a female. The dark one is a male. For the female, you can tell because it is fat all the way to the cloaca, then it pinches down dramatically, and then a very short stubby tail before the rattle. So that is a female. And then this guy over here, how you can see his tail, he's going to run, but his tail just gradually tapers down to a more narrow section. Now, yes, some snakes do eat eat each other. Actually, this one, the male has actually bit her in the head in the past. He bit her right in the face. I was very concerned, but she recovered just fine without very much trouble at all. May I please give the female snake a name? Bella Book Kitty, she's already got one. Her name is Bethany. And Joe, I heard some snakes eat each other. Yeah, yes, they do. The king snake does. Monocled cobras will. Rattlesnakes actually will too. It's not as common, but they will cannibalize. Guys, if there's anybody in here that has not yet hit the like button, if you will, please smash that like button for us. It really helps the channel out a lot when we get the likes on there. It sends it out there to a bigger audience. It brings more people in. We're able to, turn some fear into, respect. And, we're able to save some of these animals from, from fear-based killings and things like that. We're able to, work on, conservation and stuff with these animals. So by you simply clicking that like button, double tapping your screen, it does a lot more than you even realize it does, for the conservation of these guys. So I really, really appreciate everybody that has liked and everybody that has stopped back, again, to watch and everything. I've been doing this for I've been keeping snakes for, 20 plus years, almost 25 years, but I've been posting content for the last, I guess it's been about, 5 months now? Correct me if I'm wrong, Sue or Tom, but I think it's about 5 months I've been posting the reptile content. My channel is old, but never posted anything until roughly 5 months, maybe 6 months ago. Gaboon Vipers are unique. Yes, they are. We just showed a Gaboon Viper a little bit ago here on the channel. Guys, I thank y'all for hitting that like button already. Maybe we can get one more like right away, put us up to 70. I'd really appreciate it. I appreciate all of them already, but yeah, keep them coming, please. But anyway, with these guys, here, like I say, well, I mean, we got a little off topic. I was trying to explain the difference in pit vipers and true vipers and everything. And we pulled out some extra snakes to look at and everything, but we will get back on topic here. I just figured I'd show y'all a couple of different specimens while we have them out and talking about them. And we do have one more of the three major groups that we need to look at. So I'm gonna put these two away, and then after I'm done showing the next one that takes care of the third of the major three groups, we will go ahead and pull out some more animals and show you guys. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate the super chat very much, brother. Thank you, thank you. We will definitely get a snake treat with that. We'll put that towards, we'll put a couple bucks towards that, and we'll buy a rodent for sure, absolutely. Yeah, so I will start with putting him away because he's a little more of a pain in the butt to deal with than her. Come on, buddy. Come on, bud. Hey. Something with these snakes is when you go to pick them up with the hook, if you can get them raised up in the air high enough, fast enough, you can keep them on the hook. But this guy here is really being fast and running. Let me try 2 hooks with him and see if he'll react a little better. If not, there's another way we're going to do it here. There we go. Get your bud in there. Okay. There we go. Let me sit him aside and get her picked up, and then we will show the third of the three major types. Because we have looked at the true viper, we have looked at the pit viper. Now we need to look at the elapid. So let me get her put up, and we will pull out an elapid and show you some of the differences between an elapid, a true viper, and a pit viper. What do you think, Bethany? Here, girl. There you go, girl. There you go, big girl. Okay. All right, now that they're put up, let me get an elapid out. An elapid is like a cobra and mamba and stuff like that. I am not going to get a large one out because it's, I'm going to stick with these smaller specimens to be able to try to keep them on camera and stuff a little bit better. But let me go ahead and get this little dude out right here. All right, Bubba, you ain't got to try to bite me. I'm not going to freaking hurt you. Come here, dude. Hey. Come here, dude. Hey. Come on, dude. Hey. Come on, dude. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. Come on, Bubba. Hey. Come on, Bubba. Hey. There we go. There we go. All right, guys. So this here is a member of the Elapidae family. Let me sit him on down in there and zoom in a little. But this guy is a monocled cobra. So anyway, let me zoom out where we can keep him in view or in frame. And as you can see, he's trying to run. That's what they do. Every snake always wants to just get away. They do not want to fight. It's free, guys. Hit some likes. Yeah, guys, please smash that thumbs up while you're here. We really, really appreciate it. We need your help with them to try to get more people in. We can spread the information, education about these animals, really help with conservation. So, guys, this is the third of the three major groups, and they're a completely different design. Elapids are not vipers at all. They belong to a separate family called Elapidae. And their approach to venom and hunting is radically different. The Elapidae family includes, cobras, mambas, coral snakes, kraits, and sea snakes. Their fang structure, unlike vipers, elapids have short, fixed fangs in the front of their mouth. The fangs do not fold, so they're less dramatic strikes. Because their fangs are fixed, elapids often hold on to their prey and chew slightly to deliver venom effectively. Elapid venom is primarily neurotoxic. That means that it attacks the nervous system and muscle control and breathing rather than destroying tissue. It just shuts the body down. And that's why elapids are often considered the most dangerous snakes in the world, even though they may be less dramatic in appearance. Behavior and intelligence, I would say many elapids are, highly alert, fast moving, and visually oriented. Some, like cobras, do defensive displays, the hood spreading, the warning postures, and, mambas are known for, speed and precision, while coral snakes rely on, bright coloration as warning. Elapids are found usually in like Africa, Asia, Australia, the Americas, but here in North America, we've only got just the coral snake as far as elapids go. And then they're also found in the oceans, because remember, sea snakes are part of the Elapidae family. Australia in particular is dominated by elapids rather than vipers. Now, this guy here is what's called a leucistic monocled cobra, and it's hard for me to get them to hood up really, but these guys, like for their warning and threat display, they hood up and they hiss, and now my animals know me very well, so it's hard for me to really get them to hood up good, on camera and stuff, because they don't feel threatened around me. They know that they're around me every single day, and they know that I'm not going to hurt them any. So, absolutely, Mystic, absolutely. Yeah, kraits are really awesome snakes. Really awesome. What are you doing, Casper? Get in there. Get your butt in there, boy. Here. Here. But, let me try to zoom on him a little here. There we go. But you can see the major difference even in the face and the head of these guys. Their head is actually, a little smaller or about the same size as the rest of their body, their neck and everything. Whereas the pit vipers have that really fat triangular shaped head. So there's some very big differences between the two. These guys, they don't use heat sense and pitch, they use excellent eyesight to see everything. Now, hey guys, if there's anyone here that hasn't hit the like button, please smash that thumbs up. It really helps us out a lot here. I'm trying to hit 100 likes tonight. It would really, really help out tremendously if we get 100 likes. We only need 2 more to be to 80. 1 more to be to 80. Thank you, thank you. What type is the Australian boomslang? That is actually a colubrid, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not super familiar with the boomslang, but I think that is a colubrid, because they are a rear-fanged venomous snake. Now, contrary to popular belief, rear-fanged snakes are venomous. Typically, it's not medically significant to humans. However, the boomslang is very significant to humans and very fatal. But they are part of the colubrid family. What's up, Tanya? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. This guy's name is Casper, like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I'm going to put him up, and I'm going to pull out another monocled cobra here where people can see what the monocled actually looks like in the wild typically. This guy is what's known as a leucistic. Now, a leucistic will occur in the wild, but they have a way lesser chance of survival in the wild because they're not able to camouflage, you know, so they're more vulnerable to predators and stuff like that. Now, the typical wild type monocled cobra looks like this feller. Come here, Bubba. Where you at? Where you at? Did you run away or are you here? I know you're here. Come here. Ha ha. What's up, Bubba? Here, actually. Hey, Bubba. Hey. There you go. This is a more typical look, you know, for the monocled cobra. And as you see, you know, they want to get away from me. He keeps going farther and farther back into his enclosure as I try to pick him up. So let me put this down. Yes, sir, Dysfunction. They are a colubrid. Come here, Sir Hissington. Hey, this guy's name is Sir Hissington. Again, he is a wild type monocled cobra. This is what you would expect out of a monocled cobra in the wild. They, you know, ain't going to be all pretty albino colors and white and all that stuff like the leucistics in the wild as often. They are found in the wild, but not as often again because, you know, they don't have the camouflage and, you know, they're very susceptible to predators in the wild. And they get their name monocled cobra because of the circle marking there on the back of the hood right there. And when they flare that out, it looks like a, you know, guys, here very soon, as long as my channel keeps building, I am going to have a separate cameraman to run the camera while I show and discuss snakes, because it is very difficult to do both at the same time, and I know it's very poor camera work, so I apologize about that, but I do the best I can alone here. But yeah, so the reason that for that is, like I said, they're called the monocled cobra because of that circle on the back of the hood there. And when they feel threatened, you know, they will stand up the front, you know, up to the front third of their body. They'll flare that hood out wide, as we saw just a minute ago as I was trying to take him out of the enclosure. And they will actually show that to potential predators because it is meant to kind of look like a big eyeball, you know, on the back of the animal's head to make them look bigger and scarier and stuff to predators. If y'all missed the green one in the beginning, I recommend going back after this and checking it out. It was a very cool snake. Yeah. A corn snake. How scared of snakes are you? I believe the fear and the shock add to the idea of being bit and making, yeah, absolutely. You know, non-venomous snake bites are rarely painful, especially with, you know, smaller stuff like a corn snake and, you know, a ball python and stuff. You know, those bites really feel like nothing at all. Hey guys, if there's some people here that have not yet hit that like button, can you please help us out and smash that like button for us? It helps get more people in now, and it also helps tomorrow night's stream with bringing people in, and it really gives us a better opportunity at, you know, talking with more people about these animals, you know, trying to show that these animals are not, you know, out to get you. They're not aggressive. They're not going to chase you down and try to bite you. And, you know, all the typical stereotype stuff that you hear, you know, about snakes. And in turn, it helps us with conservation efforts, you know. It also helps, you know, with just educational value. But it really, really helps us, you know, change fear into respect for these guys. You live in Florida, Joe? Awesome, awesome. Do you need a special license or permit to own all of those snakes? In some states you do, yes. Florida being one of them is a pretty strict on permitting. And that's because a lot of these animals can thrive in South Florida if they was to escape. But where I'm at, no. You do not need any special permitting. I do have permits for, conservation as far as, putting in radio tags into timber rattlesnakes and stuff. But outside of that, no, I have no permitting, and it's not required in the state that I live. I break for snakes if no one's good. Absolutely awesome, Bella. That's cool. I appreciate you doing that. Snakes are way more important than a lot of people understand. Let me just explain. I mean, snakes eat rodents, rats and mice and things. And a lot of people don't realize, but just one male and one female rodent, whether it be a rat or a mouse, or whatever, just one male and one female in all of their lineage over 1 year can produce over 20,000 offspring. So that is a lot of freaking rodents, out of just one male and one female in their lineage. So just imagine, how many rodents there would be and how overrun with that kind of stuff we would be as humans if it wasn't for these snakes. And as we all know, rodents carry disease, just as an example, the hantavirus. Another example, they carry ticks around with them. And we all know, ticks cause Lyme's disease, and Lyme's disease is a very horrible, painful, illness and stuff, for humans. Three more likes, folks. Get me up to 90 likes. Can 3 of y'all help me out? If there's anybody in here that hasn't done so yet, 3 more will put us to 90. And then hopefully we're able to hit the other 10 by before I end the stream later. But anyway, so yeah. So this is, like I say, the Elapid. The Elapidae. Cobras, Mambas, all of that. So they're... It's very true. I didn't think of that. Like the Everglades and all the pythons. Yes, absolutely. Yep, snakes are very, very important, Bella. Yes, very, very important. Excuse me. But here in just a couple of minutes, if I get 2 more likes, I will put this guy away and we'll pull out another snake. Check out a new one. Yep. A snake in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, huh? 89. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. 90. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it again. What's up, Steven? How are you, buddy? What's up, handyman? Smash that like button, folks. We're almost to 100. Triple-digit likes would be sweet. Never hit triple-digit likes before that I remember. All right. We will put this guy up and we'll pull out another one. See if we can do a little talking about a different one here. Hang on, I'm texting the warden quick. Appreciate it. My goal is to catch a bull, California kings, ringneck, rubber boa, alligator lizard, blue tail skink this year at work. Hell yeah, man. While you're doing propane and propane accessories, what snake is this? This is a monocled cobra. This is just a normal wild type monocled cobra. Part of the Elapidae family. We were, tonight what we were doing is we were explaining the difference in the three major groups of snakes. Like we have, you know, the true viper, the pit viper, and the Elapidae. And we were trying to show all three types. Guys, we're at 95 likes. 5 more, guys. 5 more likes. That's all we need. But, yeah, so let me put this guy up and we'll pull out another snake here. I showed one of the ones I got last night. I showed him at the end of the night. I had bought 2 new snakes. Come on, Bubba. Get your butt in there. No, get your butt in there. Hey. Hey, you know what I did, dude? You know what I did? I put your damn water bowl in there empty. Yeah. Yeah. Here, let me fill it up real quick. Here. Okay. Alright. Are you going to be a decent snake while I get this sit in your cage? Or are you going to be a psycho? I see you hiding there, buddy. I see you hiding there. We're not going to do that. Nah, we ain't playing that game, bro. No, sir. There's some water. Drink up. Okay, so we'll show this new snake again that I showed at the end of the night last night. I had purchased 2 new snakes, and they arrived yesterday. Unfortunately, they arrived, the male passed away in transit. Very sad, very sad. I hate that it passed away in transit. But it happens. And the reason why I believe is when I purchased these snakes, I'm going to be honest, I should have known better, you know, from the start, but I was so excited to see these animals on the market that I just, you know, jumped on them as soon as I saw them available. I do not like to have wild-caught animals. Unfortunately, in the hobby, it happens. And these 2 that I purchased do not come on the market very often. They have only been produced in captivity by 1 person so far that I'm aware of last year. But the female seems to be pretty good, pretty strong, healthy. To my understanding, she's been in captivity for a few years because the guy that had her for 3 years. and he bought them under the assumption they were captive bred and born. But I can tell by looking at this girl and the condition of her rattle that she is not a captive born and bred animal. But anyway, here we go. We're going to show you her. This girl here is... Does anybody know what she is before I say it? Yeah, it does suck, Bella. It's sad, but like I say, unfortunately it happens. Yeah, exactly, dysfunction. I'm the same way. Anything I, catch when I'm out taking pictures and stuff, they get released right away. She is very beautiful. It is a rattlesnake, Bella. It is a tiger rattlesnake. Its scientific name is Crotalus tigris. They are a tiger rattlesnake. They are a small rattlesnake species. I will move her so you can get a better look, but they have a thick body. Let me try to move the camera. But they have a very thick body, but a very small head. And there's her rattle. And like I was saying about, I can tell by the rattle now that I have her in my possession. Of course, on photos, you can't see as good. But on that rattle, you can tell it's pretty beat up, So she was definitely a wild caught animal, unfortunately. Yep, we only need 4 more likes, guys. If anybody's here that hasn't hit the like button yet, if y'all could help us out and smash that thumbs up, we'd really, really appreciate it. But, yeah, this girl is a tiger rattlesnake. She's an adult. There's no way for me to know exactly how old she is, but she is well into adulthood. They can live upwards of 20 years. Yeah, I believe it is spelled Tigris. There it is. Yeah, there it is, Tom. Yes, they're a very, very calm species of rattlesnake. Most rattlesnakes are relatively docile. The western diamondback is probably the most defensive of any of them. But most of them are relatively docile. The timber rattlesnake being the most toxic rattlesnake in North America, is surprisingly probably the most docile of all of them. Hey, has I am me been in yet tonight, Tom? And hit the like button? They do kind of look like a puff adder. Yeah, they do, Joe. Absolutely. So anyway, with this snake here, they're a desert dwelling species, So just imagine, standing in the desert, at dawn, and the silence almost, feels sacred, and then you get to walking, and without warning, you hear that sharp, electric buzz, It's kind of the buzz of a rattlesnake, is unlike anything else in nature, It doesn't chase you. It doesn't need to. The sound alone, will stop you in your tracks. And the sound, belongs to, one of the most misunderstood and specialized predators in North America. And that's what we're looking at here, the tiger rattlesnake. The tiger rattlesnake is found in, the Sonoran Desert, stretching across, southern Arizona and parts of northwestern Mexico. And it's really one of the harshest environments on the continent. Scorching heat, scarce water, and extreme temperature swings. But yet the tiger rattlesnake, doesn't just survive, it thrives. And it lives along the rocky hillsides, the desert scrub, and the thorny vegetation. Obviously its coloration is bands of gray and brown and maroon and pink and cream and rust and all different colors. They blend perfectly with the stone and the sand in the desert. And whenever they're still, they can be nearly invisible, even from just a couple of feet away. The camouflage is not an accident, though. It's survival that's, been refined by evolution. The name tiger rattlesnake comes from those bold crossbands that you're looking at that run down the body, kind of resembling, stripes of a tiger. But their appearance isn't its most impressive feature. The honor, definitely with all rattlesnakes, goes to the rattle. Unlike most rattlesnakes, though, the tiger rattlesnake, has a thin, brittle rattle that, produces a very high-pitched buzzing sound, often compared to, an insect or an electrical wire. The sound's very unique and incredibly effective. It's a warning. It's not a threat. The rattle just kind of tells you, I'm here. Please don't step on me. Give me some space and we'll both leave here fine. And it tells us something important. It tells us that the snake would much rather avoid conflict, than to start one. And the tiger rattlesnake is relatively small compared to other rattlesnakes, often, measuring just 2 to 3 feet. Because of their size, people sometimes underestimate this snake, and that's a mistake. Its venom is considered one of the most potent of any rattlesnake. Unlike many rattlesnakes that rely mostly on hemotoxic venom, venom that destroys, tissue or blood, the tiger rattlesnake's venom contains powerful neurotoxins. The neurotoxic venom, affects the nervous system, muscle control, and breathing. And this type of venom works very fast and efficiently, especially on the small prey that the snakes hunt. Guys, if you can, smash that like button for us. Looks like we've lost a couple of likes. We lost 2 of them. So if anybody's, can help us out here and give us some likes, we'd appreciate it. We need 4 more to hit our goal of 100 for the night. But guys, with this snake, there's something very crucial to understand. The tiger rattlesnake does deliver very, very small venom yields. It kind of means that while the venom is very potent, bites to humans are rare and fatalities are extremely uncommon, especially when you get medical treatment. Venom is more of a hunting tool, not a weapon of aggression. The tiger rattlesnake is an ambush predator. It doesn't chase prey across the desert. Instead, it just relies on the patience, precision, and, the heat-sensing pits on their face. As a pit viper, with those heat-sensing pits that's located there between the eye and the nostril that we showed earlier, the pits allow them to detect warm-blooded animals even when it's completely dark. So the snake, the desert at night is not black, it's alive with, glowing shapes. So whenever a rodent or a lizard or a small bird comes within range, the snake strikes, with lightning speed. They're very, very quick. They inject venom, and then it'll release. And then the rodent or whatever will run off, and
die, and then it tracks it, using the scent and the heat until the venom takes effect. They're quiet, they're efficient, and they're perfectly tuned to their environment. Perfectly tuned. But one of the biggest myths about rattlesnakes is that they are aggressive. The tiger rattlesnake proves just how wrong that idea is. Um, the species is very shy and reclusive, and it prefers to remain hidden, and it'll often stay, completely still whenever it's approached, relying on camouflage. And if it feels threatened, it gives a warning, and that's its rattle. It'll only strike, if escape is not possible. So, in fact, most rattlesnake bites occur whenever humans try to handle or kill the snake, or they accidentally step on it, or they ignore warning signs. The snake's not hunting people, it's defending its life. The tiger rattlesnake plays a very vital role in the desert ecosystems. By preying on rodents, they help control populations, that can damage vegetation. They can spread disease, like we talked about. They can disrupt, the fragile desert balance. If you remove the rattlesnake, and the system suffers. So, like I've told you already, it's both predator and protector. It keeps the desert healthy in ways that we often don't notice. Tiger rattlesnakes are ovoviviparous, meaning that they give birth to live young rather than laying eggs. A female has anywhere between 4 and 12 babies. And when they're born, they're already equipped with venom and instinct. The young lack a rattle at first, but they're fully capable hunters from the moment they're born. Even though they're fully capable and venomous, many juveniles don't survive because of predators and harsh conditions, and human activity takes a heavy toll. It makes every adult tiger rattlesnake you encounter a survivor. Um, Basically, as cities expand into the desert habitats, encounters with humans and rattlesnakes are becoming more common. Sadly, many of these encounters end with a snake being killed out of fear. But education changes that, whenever people understand, that the snake's behavior, it's warning signals, its importance, fear gives way to respect. Coexisting doesn't mean being careless, it means being aware. It means giving space and letting wildlife remain wild. The tiger rattlesnake's not a villain, it's not a monster, it's a masterpiece of evolution. They're small, they're precise, and they're just perfectly adapted to one of the toughest environments on Earth. Its buzz is not a challenge, its venom is not cruelty, and its presence is definitely not a mistake. It's a reminder that the desert is alive, that the desert's watching, and that it's worthy of our respect. So if you're ever out and you hear that electric rattle in the distance, don't panic. Just pause, remember this video, listen, and appreciate the remarkable life that's sharing the land with you. What's That would be awesome, Dysfunction, absolutely. 3 more likes, folks. Have you checked your local medical facilities to see if they have anti-venom in case you get bit? Absolutely, Bulldog, yes. Yes, they do have anti-venom for many of the snakes that I carry. I do have several snakes that just do not have anti-venom available, but yes, for the most part, I know where the anti-venom is located. My local hospitals don't have a lot of it, but I am in contact with, reptile facilities, zoos, and different places that do have it. And it is in my bite protocol log. If I was to get bit, the people around me know exactly what to do. They know, first thing is secure the snake. Second thing is call 911. Third thing is, grab that bite protocol book. And I will actually show you guys here. If it is a viper, you do not use a tourniquet. You do not, do any of that. Do not cut it. Don't try to suck the venom out. None of that stuff. If it is an elapid, you use what is called a pressure bandage. I'm going to show you here. If I was to be bitten by a cobra or a mamba or something like that, you use this bandage right here. It's called a pressure bandage, and you see how when I stretch it, it makes squares. If let's say I was bitten in the wrist or the arm right here, I would wrap this around my arm very, very tightly, all the way up, and you wrap it tightly, and you have it tight enough when those squares I showed you up here, like that. So you wrap it very, very tightly and take my butt to the hospital. And you take that bite protocol book with you to the hospital. That way you don't have doctors scrambling around not knowing how to treat the specific bite for an exotic snake, because it'll all be in that book. And if all else fails, you kiss my ass goodbye, I guess. You don't want to sound stupid, but what is a reptile? Oh, okay. What is an e-reptile? You're 44, so it is the, erectile dysfunction, e-reptile instead of erectile. That's what he's saying. It's kind of a joke. But guys, 3 more likes. We need 3 more. But anyway, I guess I could put this girl up. We don't want to keep her out and stress her out too much. She needs to relax and settle in and everything. I'm going to send this to a couple of people to see if we can get them last couple of likes here. Damn it. There you are. $98. Share. 97. All right. Kate. All right. There we go. Hopefully we'll get them likes now. All right, so let me put her up. She's actually She's actually being pretty calm, but like I say, I don't want to stress her, so I will put her up and I will grab another snake for us to check out here. So give me just a minute or two. Hey guys, thanks for stopping in. If there's anybody here that has not hit the like button yet, please smash that thumbs up for us. I really, really appreciate it. Let me put her right here, and you know what? We've already got a snake right underneath her that I think is a good choice. We have looked at this guy before already, too. Get down, bud. Get down. Get down, bud. Hey. Hey. Don't be a jerk. I don't trust you. I need my hook. I need my hook. Nope. Keep your butt down there. Let me get the camera adjusted. He is going into shed, but there we go. We looked at a smaller version of this guy earlier. This is actually the father of the small one we looked at earlier here. This guy's name is Snitch, because he likes to rattle all the freaking time. Come on, Snitch, get your head back. But as you can see, he got a big old rattle there. He's not that old. He's about 3 or so, 3.5 years old. You zoom out a little so we can see him here. There we go. I'm still showing 99. I'm showing 99 in the studio, so it may take a minute to register, but yep. Cool. Actually, I'm showing 98. What the heck? What the heck? Now it's 99. Got 100 likes. Sweet. But, this may sound stupid, but how do you tell how old a snake is? Like, is there a way to tell? Not really, Lisa. Yeah, it's not really a way to tell. I know how old the snake is because I had the snake since it was born. That's the only way I know. Now, you know, when you're experienced with snakes, you can guesstimate pretty close, you know, but there's no foolproof way that I know of. Hey, Bubba. Hey. The heck? Wow, that's crazy, Tom. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm showing 98 on my side. One more like, well, maybe two. Who knows? Says 98. You guys are showing 100, though. I don't know. No. Hey, Snitch. Hey. Hey, Snitchy. Hey. See, guys, but check this out. Like, you know, the Western Diamondback is one of the more defensive rattlesnake species. There we go. It just went to 100 for him. Nope, now it's back to 99 again. What the hell? But anyway, the Western Diamondback, there it's back to 100 again. Cool. But anyway, the Western Diamondback is, you know, one of the more defensive rattlesnake species that, in my opinion. But even with that, you know, you see this guy, you know, just flicking his tongue, being curious, you know, looking around and stuff. You know, he's not trying to, you know, strike at me and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm back to 99 again. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's bouncing all over the place. But I think that's because YouTube verifies that they're legitimate, you know, and then it'll show back up. Yeah, that's 100% false. Now, I will show you, because I can show you with this snake. Now, a snake like this one that you know has its original rattle, you can get pretty close to its age, you know. Like, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's, or is that 13 or 14? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's got 13 in a button. So that means this snake has shed about 13 times in its life. And on average, as a juvenile snake, it'll shed somewhere around 4 times a year. So I can accurately judge that with a snake that has his original rattle. But you can't do that with all rattlesnakes, because their rattles get pulled off on rocks and roots and tree stumps and, you know, all kinds of stuff. They lose their rattle naturally. So it's not an accurate way to judge. The way you can tell it's an original rattle, you see how it starts small up at the top button, and then it gets fatter as the tail got fatter, you know, because it grew with the snake. Now, whenever they've been broken off, they'll all be pretty close to the same size. All the segments will be close to the same size the whole way. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Where are you going, Snitch? Hey, Snitch, where are you going? Now, watch this, guys. Like, I'll literally touch this snake in the nose, and he's not trying to bite nothing, you know. He's just still flicking his tongue. He don't care, you know. He's cool. So, you know, my point to this is, now I'm up to 101. My point to this is you know, there's no need to, you know, unalive a rattlesnake, you know, or really any snake for that matter, because they are not going to chase you down and try to get you. Thanks, Lisa. Guys, I appreciate y'all very much. I hope y'all continue returning. I do live streams every single day. We've been doing this for about 5 or 6 months now. We've never had a ton of viewers. You know, these last 3 days have been more concurrent viewers than normal. We all views, but we're having more people hang out and chat with us and everything the last 3 days than normal, and I really hope that continues. You know, I've seemed to have met, you know, quite a few pretty decent people over the last 3 days, and I appreciate every one of you. Hey, Snitch. Hey, bud. Hey. No. Hey, Bubba. Hey. No, sir. No, sir. See, as soon as I touch that snake, he pulls his head back into the enclosure. He does not want to come out here and pick a fight with me. You know, I'll try to show you again. Like, I get close, he just backs up. He's not trying to pick a fight. So I'll definitely be back for sure. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Yeah, Dysfunction's pretty knowledgeable about snakes from what I've seen. Mystic Mountain Morphs, you know, he seems pretty knowledgeable about them. There's a young boy that comes into this channel. He's on vacation right now, so I don't think he's watching. But he goes by the name Animal Expert. He's very young, but for his age and being such a young kid, he's very knowledgeable about reptiles too. But yeah, guys, so about probably about another 5 minutes or so, guys, and then we're going to call it a night. But if y'all want to see one more snake before we go, I'm sure I could pull out one more here. let me close up Mr. Snitch, and we'll show one more. Yeah, Snitch is decent size. He will get more than 3 times, 2 to 3 times that size. Still, he'll grow quite a bit more. Yeah, you guys helped a lot tonight. Thank you. Absolutely. Everybody helped tremendously. Here we go. Let's show him. This guy's close by. We may have saw him yesterday. I can't remember. But he's close by, so we'll go ahead and show him anyway. Let me get this empty tub here. Come here, big guy. Come here, big guy. Come here. Hey, Bubba. Hey. Hey. All right, guys. So. Now, this guy here is scientifically known as Crotalus basiliscus. He is the Mexican West Coast rattlesnake. This is the second largest rattlesnake species on the planet. Yeah, Crotalus escapus. Yeah, you're right. He just wants to flee, but just like all the rest of the snakes. Here, I'll pull him over close to me once and watch what he does. I'll let him down over here, and boom, immediately he's headed right back away from me again. No matter how many times I drag him over here to me, this snake will continuously try to get the hell away from me. This snake does not want anything to do with me. He wants to be left alone and to be able to do snake things. Let's see, buddy. That's a good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, I believe, buddy. 7. You know what? Here, let me put the rattlesnake up and let me show you a piebald. So this guy's got a fetish with piebald snakes. So let me show you a pied here. Come on, come here, dude. Come on, Bubba. Hey, stay on the hook a minute. Let me get you over here. Come here. There you go, big guy. Good job, big guy. All right, let me grab a piebald here. Hey, big girl. Hey. I know. There you go. There you go, buddy.
I hope that tickles you in the right places. Almost, buddy. This is a I always leave leave part of it out. But this is a caramel albino sunset. You can see the sunset in the first third, but towards the back it lightens up, but you can see the red and orange on her nose as it comes back, and then it starts to peter out after this on. Yep, it's called piebald. Piebald. Pied for short. Yeah, stop back, Joe. Every time, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks, Patrick. She's a big one, too. She's a big one. She's about the largest that a ball python will get unless it's a Volta locale. This girl was sick, and she's still making a couple of little clicks there, so I think I'm going to continue her medication for another couple of weeks here, just to be sure. I appreciate that help, Joe. Sorry, guys, I'm yawning. But anyway, folks, I think that's going to be our show for the night. Tomorrow we will show. Here, let me get the camera. Tomorrow we will show the venomous snake that this comes from. If I can get it on camera. There we go. We'll show the venomous snake this is from. That's this is the bottom jaw. Let me straighten it out a little. There you go. That's the bottom jaw of this snake. And it's still wrinkled up some. So, we will show the snake that this shed belongs to. No, you're good, Lisa. I appreciate the questions. The questions really help things too. It shows engagement. That helps push the videos out to more people. It does a lot. So I'm able to try to give a little bit of education at the same time. It helps. It helps get more views and spread more education on the channel here. Goodbye to the chat. I just want to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for the knowledge. I'll return when you come back. All right, man. Yeah. We will be about the same time tomorrow night. It seems like 9:30 is a great time to start. So that's what we'll do. 9:30 Eastern time, just like tonight. That is a long shed dysfunction, and it's a thick one. Send her to you. You'll get her feeling better. Dysfunction in her day. She was a $10,000 snake back in her day.
when she was first produced. Today she would probably go for about 2,200 maybe. Yes, sir, Patrick. Yeah, she leaving. She running away. Well, you can get some pieds for about 200. Yes, sir. Yep. You know, but now being a stable line of caramel albino and sunset both, you know, that's what takes her price up like it does. But you're right, some pieds you can get for a couple hundred as babies. All right, let me put her up. She just free ranges, but I'm gonna put her in the cage tonight on the heat. Come here, big girl. Come on, big girl. Get your butt in there. Get your butt in there, big girl. And you know what? I guess while we're on here, I am going to clean this tub with some alcohol before I forget. And I set a snake in it or something. I don't want to do that. So alcohol or chlorhexidine always between animals to stop cross-contamination. Okay, so, all right. Anyway, guys, that's, you know what, here. We have somebody looking at us all curious, so let's look at someone quick. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? But anyway, you will have to tune in tomorrow. It's Real Juice to find out what that shed was to. So, we'll see y'all tomorrow, guys. Have a good night. Oh, Canadian Lynx, what's up, buddy? His favorite snake on this channel is the banded rock rattlesnake, I'll bet you is what he says, Lynx. Oh, yeah. You know what, guys? Some of y'all didn't get to see that snake, so let me show her again real fast. My camera's extremely low, so if it dies, I apologize. But let me try to show her real quick, the West African bush viper that we were looking at. Somebody asked earlier for me to show it again, so let me do that quick here. Here we go. Here she is. Come on, big girl. Hey. Here she is. There she is. You just got the urge to hug her. All right, guys. There it is. There you have it. All right, big girl. Come on. No. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. There you go. No, ma'am. There you go. but
sneaky snake. Canadian lynx. She is a West African bush viper, scientifically known as Atheris chlorechis. Emerald and diamond. Here, let me try to give you a real fast look at emerald and diamond. It's not going to be a super clear look at them, but let's see here if I can get some light in there. Let's see. Flashlight. There's diamond. You know what? Let me see here. Let me see here. There we go. Hey, diamond. Hey. I can't really get a good, clear look at you, girl. Let's see if I can set the light on you here, like this. And now I can do this. There you go. Yeah, she's not real happy. I can't get a good look at her. There she is. But anyway, that's diamond, and here's emerald. Oh. All right. And then we'll look at that one tomorrow. And we'll look at that one tomorrow. Bethany's your all-time favorite? Yeah, I like Easterns better as well. You're partial to Bethany. All right, guys, have a good night. If there's anybody that hasn't hit the like button yet, please smash that quick before we end the stream. Everybody's already liked it. All right, guys, good night.